stuff.
How's your son doing?
Good evening, everybody. We're back live with the crew, and thank you all so much for spending your precious time with me because I know how valuable your time is in life, and I get it. So to spend an hour or two with me on a beautiful Thursday evening is a privilege for me. Many of you may know the individual in the screen here. I believe it's the first time I've interviewed you. You've interviewed me before, but anyway, turnabout's fair play. Mr. Mel Carmine, how are you doing tonight, Mel?
Doing great, Allan. How you doing, brother? Always a
Good.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's good fun. It's good to have you. It's always fun to get people's different perspective on what's going on in the world and what they think of it and what we're all doing in it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's great. That's great. Somebody comment at, yeah, I know the chair.
Everybody knows the chair. They know the chair more than they know Mel Carmine, believe me.
That's right. Yeah, it's a good thing. So, Mel, what of all the things you want to start off talking about, what brings you here tonight to the crew? Are you excited about anything in particular, or what do you got going on?
Well, I got my fingers in so many pots. I lost count of all my fingers. I'm constantly putting pain on myself. I'm sort of a sadomasochist. I enjoy inflicting pain. I love entrepreneurship. That's the reason why I came to the United States even as a young toddler. I come from a long line of, people growing up on an island where there's no opportunity and they become gangsters and that kind of shit. And so my father used to take me to a little movie theater in Sicily when I was young, like, literally, 2-3 years old, but I have a photographic memory. I remember everything. And I used to watch Clint Eastwood, and I used to think that those were the gangsters in the United States, the guys with horses and guns on their side. I said, oh, wow. So that's pretty cool. I like that. If you go to America, you get a horse.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
you're the it's funny what you've evolved into, because you are almost the epitome of a modern day gangster in the public eyes sense. The people that know the great work that you do, between the movies you've made and the opening of eyes and minds and consciousness about the straw man and many other great subjects that we're going to talk about here tonight. But
well, I made a movie I made a movie called Dear Mr. President.net. That's a freebie. It should have gotten a lot of legs. Well, I shouldn't say that. It actually is on hundreds, if not thousands, of channels, because anybody could download the actual documentary and put it on any channel you want. It's a free for all. So we know that it's on hundreds of podcasters' channels, and we know that there's some channels that we've seen 215,000 views and so on. So collectively, it's probably in the millions, but it's not collected in one area. It's all over the place, right?
Sure.
But I could tell you that, we got overshadowed by the shooting of Charlie Kirk. And so I'm not going to get overshadowed by the war in Iran on this one. I'm going to launch it at exactly the right time. Now, you're coming to the Quantum Summit, the Junior Quantum Summit, which is quantumsummit1776.com. And so anybody who wants to see Allan on stage, he'll be on stage with us. And we're going to have a bunch of stuff there, including the movie. We're going to be actually premiering the movie on the 28th, I believe. Yeah. So, okay. Which is Dear Mr. President, Show Me the Money, a movie about the straw man, which is when you're born, they ink your feet and they put your feet on a piece of paper. They give you the all caps names. That's not you. That's the twin of you. And they start to trade you. Well, how do they trade you? They trade you by, every time you go through a stop sign and you get a traffic violation or a speeding violation, or your birth certificate is a bond. That's your bond number is your social security number. That's how they track all of your investments. So you're getting a fishing license, a hunting license, a marriage license, a divorce license, another marriage license because you got remarried. Some of us are that stupid. We do it twice and 3 times, So these are all bonds, and you're getting interest on top of interest on top of interest. But the information out there is compartmentalized where the average police officer out on the street doesn't really understand how the game is played and how all of the money goes upstairs. This movie, if God is on my side and he says everybody needs to see the movie, and 317 million Americans watch the movie, then we're going to have a problem, because everybody in America has one of those social slave numbers, social security numbers. And so if it pisses off 317 million people in America, Houston, they got a problem, and I got a problem because I got to go hiding because I just pissed off a lot of people. And now you got, the entire populace of the United States of America, the citizens, pissed off at the government, and I'm the culprit, right?
Yeah.
So I would have to probably come hide on your couch, Allan.
Yes. Yeah. They'll be looking after you like they were Charlie Kirk. But anyway, we won't get into that. So it is a fact. I will be going to your show, and I will be there. I booked the tickets this week, the other night, actually. Elizabeth and I booked those. And what is that, 26th through the 30th or something? I'm going to be there.
27th is going to be a meet and greet at a place called the Twisted Tide. So even if we don't have any more seats available for the Quantum Summit, the Junior Quantum Summit, you can still come to the meet and greet and meet your favorite, podcaster, what have you. And that's going to be, karaoke, martinis, and chicken wings, whatever, just party time, right? From 6 to like 11 or midnight, whatever.
Sure.
Then the next day is the actual event. And we're going to be doing, the horse and pony show. And then right after lunch, we're going to do the movie. And then we have a gentleman on stage that shows you how to take all of your assets and move them into what's called a religious irrevocable trust. And this way you could be off the grid, which is what I'm big on, getting off the grid, staying off the grid. And imagine being, you become a billionaire in XRP, and a lot of us will, in this digital asset world that we're in, and all of a sudden, somebody wants, a nice chunk of that. Well, if you have your cryptocurrency registered in your religious irrevocable trust, guess how much you owe? 0.
That's it.
And I like that number, 0. I like to keep it all. Yeah.
Yep. Taxation is theft.
It really is. It's crazy. I had to file taxes for the first time in my life because, Amber and I were married in Costa Rica. So they had to literally translate the marriage license, which was a bond, okay, into English. And I had to actually file taxes for the first time in like 38 years. And it's funny because it's like I have to prove to a tax agency that was registered in Puerto Rico, which is a corporation that's not even part of the United States government. I have to prove to them that I could take care of my wife, and I'm paying an illegal tax agency, collection agency, a tax to prove to them that I could take care of my wife, and they have nothing to do with the United States government. People don't realize that.
It's such a mess.
It really is.
It's just a complete brainwashing what's happened. Everybody on the planet, it's not just Americans, it's everybody. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it truly is.
I'm excited to be there. It's going to be fun. I guess I'm going to be there 4 or 5 days. That is in Cape Canaveral, correct?
Yeah, 166 Center Street, Cape Canaveral. We're upstairs. We're going to be doing it inside the actual center itself. We're taking out all the furniture and putting up the Chinese folding chairs. And we could fit every bit of 200 people. We'll see if we get 200 people. We're still early. You know how these tickets usually sell in the last 12 days, right? Yeah. And that's how it goes. But typically, we've never done something this big, a junior quantum summit inside the center with that many bodies in there. And simply putting that many bodies inside this frequency is going to amplify the energy by a factor of 5-6 times what it normally is. And so people are going to probably, say, hey, listen, I used to have a shoulder pain. It was chronic for, 15 years and it's not there anymore. Right.
I love that. Oh,
Yeah, and so we get a lot of that stuff, and so
sure.
yeah. It's a frequency. It's not a device that diagnoses you or fixes you. It doesn't do any of that. It just provides a frequency. Your body knows what it is. Your cellular structure gets optimized to 90 millivolts, and when that happens, your body literally goes into repair mode on its own. So it's your body that's repairing the body. It's like if you break your leg, the doctor's going to put it in a cast, but then it is your body that's actually healing the leg.
That's right. Yeah, your body does all the healing.
Exactly.
And that's really kind of a sad state of our medical field is, once they diagnose you with the big C word, you wear that around the rest of your days, telling everybody in the world that you have the C thing. And then, then it just becomes you because you become the energy of it, and you just talk yourself right into the disease of it all. And then you listen to some doctor that tells you it's absolutely incurable, which is, it's just as curable as a cold if you believe that you can do it. And all they want to do is keep you from healing oneself. And,
well, it's changing. I was watching the movie Mission Impossible, the last one, and they mentioned hyperbaric chamber. I was watching another movie, and as the girl was swimming up, she jumped into a river trying to get away from the killer, and she went real deep. And as she's coming up with her hands like this, swimming up, the water is making these geometric patterns. So they're sending us the messages saying, hey, it's coming, relax. So it's like sort of like cryptocurrency, the business I'm in. It's like I got to chill out. My day's coming, but we're not exactly there yet.
It's so true, isn't it? It's like, I was just in Silicon Valley, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, lasted for 2 or 3 days, and met with some people, and every one of them to a person was saying the same thing. Wow, this is changing rapidly. Everything is moving quicker and faster than they've ever seen it before. And I said, well, how do you feel about healing? And they were laughing, going, oh, well, we're tech people. We're not really into that. I said, well, you understand about quantum physics and you understand all that, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, we're experts in quantum. And I was like, okay, so how do you explain all that? How do you explain the energy in between the two particles? And they're like, well, we haven't really gotten into that. I'm like, as soon as you hit them with a hard question, like, what was it, CERN, that was always trying to split these particles into smaller and smaller pieces. And then when they got to the bottom of it, what they realized? It wasn't about the particles, it was about the energy in between the two particles. Hello.
Exactly.
Like, so simple once you wrap your head around it. But
well, they made it complicated because they don't look. The guy that's going to be there, one of the guys is going to actually demonstrate a free energy technology motor on stage. I like pushing the envelope because my first one, we had Patrick Riley, which I'm sure you're familiar who he is.
Sure.
Yeah, Patrick actually.
Love Patrick.
We gave away the plans on how to build your own. You got to go to Home Depot and Lowe's and pick up all these parts and then assemble it in your garage. And we got a call from a friend of mine, which I'm not going to mention here, who was going to be. He's a pretty big deal, and he was going to be at the event. And he said, "Mel, I'm sorry I can't make it. You got a couple of spooks in your audience." He said, "You graduated." I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "No, you got a couple of guys that are CIA that are going to check you out because we're talking about free energy technology. You're not even allowed to talk about it. You're not even own it, right?" But my friend Jerry Reed is going to actually demonstrate one on stage. He says the power lines that are up in the air, okay, they're actually collecting energy out of the ether and delivering it to your house, the energy free of charge right now. They're just charging you something. They're getting completely. So imagine that would be an incredible scandal, right?
Yeah, it certainly would. Yeah. Is Patrick going to be there this year?
Patrick is not going to be there, unfortunately, but they're so interested in Jerry Reed, who's went from like 138,000 to like 500,000. As soon as he started to ask for his money on Facebook, they throttled him back something fierce. He was growing by like 4,000 or 5,000 a day on a bad day and 15,000, 20,000 on a good day per day. We were
Wow.
pushing him like crazy because he's been pushing my center, Staying Alive with 2 E's, stayingalive.com in Cape Canaveral. The other one belongs to the Bee Gees, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Doing everything.
But anyway, he was pushing us like crazy, and all these people are coming in and saying, Jerry sent me, and like, who the hell is this guy Jerry? So they start showing us some videos of this guy, and he's actually got the telephone number of the center in his profile. And I got all these scandally women sending videos of themselves saying, Jerry, I love you, Jerry.
Yeah, that's what happens next. Yeah.
He's like become a rock star, right? And
Yep.
so he'll be on stage demonstrating an actual free energy technology. He's actually trying to reverse engineer a guy that I tried to get funded years ago by the name of John Searle, Searl. And we were very close to getting him funded. Long story short is I met another gentleman by the name of Joby Weeks. Joby mined 92,000 Bitcoins on,
yeah. I remember that story.
Yeah. So Joby mined 92,000 Bitcoins and he made a lot of people very rich, and that's not allowed. And so they arrested him, but he's got his only crime is he made a lot of people a lot of money, right? And he sold the mining equipment to a bunch of multi-level marketing companies like Big Club and so on. And so it's a long story, but it looks like unfortunately, I hope not, but it looks like he might be going back to prison with no crime. There's never been a trial. There's never been a jury picked. In 6 years, he's been under house arrest, right? And it's just been wasting his time and really torturing him with that thing on his leg.
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually worked with a man for a few years, and his best friend was an inventor.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually seen this in working order. He owned a big industrial complex. This is in Newport Beach, California. Mm-hmm. And I was running the man's yacht, and he ended up being he said, "Hey, Allan, you should come down, and we got this big demonstration. We check it out, and we're looking for investors." So I go down there, and I was like, checking this thing out. And this man eliminated carbon monoxide out of the tailpipe of a car. Easily enough. I mean, it was very simply done. The man actually was sitting inside of a cubicle room with that V8 engine running, hitting the throttle, and he's inside the room and he's breathing it. He can breathe the tailpipe. He sold the thing. Listen to this. With the investors that I didn't invest in it. I was just too dumb, I guess, at the time. I wish I had. They sold it to Ford for $1 billion.
Wow.
Oddly enough, that was 15, 18 years ago now. And oddly enough, it's not on any car. And I thought, that's strange, really, isn't it? Why would Ford buy that and then just bury it? Like,
well, they want to keep everybody on the treadmill, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. Why would they? Oh, now I get it. Yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, they want to keep you paying for your electric bill. They want to keep you paying for energy. They want to keep you paying for everything. It's like you have to have a subscription to everything you want in life in order to exist, right?
That's right. Yeah. And the carbon credits thing and all the rest of that stuff, the green energy, and all the rest. I get it. I mean, it all makes sense. It all works. But it's also.
What do you think of what do you think of the fact that they're now rolling out the artificial intelligence and the robots? I mean, I think the new generation, because they're so lazy, this new generation doesn't want to work. They don't want to do jack shit. I think that by default they have to roll them out because somebody's got to do the work, right?
By default, I don't know if it's by default, but no, you know what I think a lot of that is, Bill, is I'm not the old man, hey, get off my lawn guy. I'm really not my style. But I will say this. You adapt to whatever generation you're in. And they're not required to do a bunch of labor. That's not the era in which they live in, they grow up in. They do most of their labor on a keyboard. So, and they're much better at that than I am. So, every generation has different skill set. I
Right.
really believe
Right.
that to be true. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Interesting.
way I go with it anyway.
Well, in a way, you can't blame them. A lot of people say, well, they don't like to work. No, they don't like to work the way you and I were raised
That's
to
right.
work. They
That's right.
just, I mean, look, you're born on this planet. You're being taxed to death with all these illegal tax agencies that sprout up every month, right? Every time they need to do something, it's always a new tax. They got to propose a new tax. And we're thinking that we could run on this treadmill, and if we run just fast enough, just hard enough, that we can get to the carrot. Well, it's the 0.000000001% that get to the carrot. The rest of us don't get to the carrot. It's extremely hard. I can tell you because I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I love entrepreneurship. I've done pretty well for myself. However, it's not normal to be born onto a planet and work 65 years of your life, and then you're walking the beaches on the earth using a walker. You know what I mean? That's not
Yeah.
who I want to be, So bring in the artificial intelligence. Let's bring in the robots. Let's bring in the universal basic income. Allow us to live some form of life where we can spend more time with our families and friends. And what is wrong with having I think people would be more productive if they had nothing to do, because there is no such thing as a job, because the robots got it all handled.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I think they'll be more creative too.
No, I think it's going to be a fantastic time to be alive. But I'm a bit of an optimist about life anyway. But I do. I think it's going to. You're going to. If you like to sit under a tree and play guitar all day, you're going to be able to do that and still actually eat and breathe and have shelter. So I think
about growing your own food? What's wrong with growing your own food? What's wrong with growing your own eggplant, your own potatoes, your own tomatoes? What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that. But
Right.
on the other hand, I don't know how many gardens you've grown, probably a lot, but it's a lot of work too. So it's like, and then
I'll just buy a robot farmer from Elon for $30,000 and say go.
Yeah, that's right.
Go farm my shit, right?
That's it. Yeah. No, it's good because you can control what you eat that way. And like Elizabeth and I have a bit of a little farm here that we played around with quite a bit, but I will tell you, it's a ton of work, and I'm not getting any younger. And I'm with you. I'd rather have a robot do it all. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, look, I think one of the things that they're afraid of is that eventually the secrets of the universe will be, common knowledge, if you will. All right. Life extension technology, I believe, is coming. As a matter of fact, we have it at stayingalive.com in Cape Canaveral. We have it. And when you walk into the door on the left-hand side, there's a piece of paper, two pieces of paper that are laminated. This is a friend of mine, Julie, who sent in her blood work before and after, and over to a lab in Houston. And we got the reports back, and the telomeres went up by 23%. That means her life extension went up by 23% in 1 month. But she slept in the system for an entire month.
Love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
It is. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
We've been I've had so many great experiences with healing with different people and different energy things. I'm really excited to learn more about what you got going on, Mel. I really am.
Well, we have we got a few modalities now. We have the hydrogen therapy gas. We have the plasma med bed. We have obviously the room itself. We're slowly getting into other things, and once we can absolutely blow out and get the right marketing plan, and it becomes the ether, it becomes everyday vernacular where it's in our everyday language about frequency, vibration, and sound is the way to heal, right?
Yeah.
Once that happens, then it's easier, because once that room is full, was what we did is, when I saw the business plan of $50 an hour, $60 an hour, some places in California are $85, $90 an hour, 2 hour minimum.
Yeah.
The average gal cannot afford that. So we had to figure out how to make it, work to where it's much more inexpensive So the way to do that is to have a much bigger room, have a lot more real estate, a lot more chairs, and charge something reasonable. Our prices go down to like $9.32 an hour, which is like 80% cheaper than anybody else that's out there that's in the same business.
Well,
Right?
that's fantastic. Even I can afford that.
Everybody can, even a guy who works at Dairy Queen can afford that, who makes 17 cents an hour.
Yeah. No, that's good. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way it should be. And
Yeah.
how long is it before it can be a household product? I mean, I know you paid a lot of
funny
money.
you say that. I'm working with a gentleman that I'm not allowed to mention his name.
Okay.
He came out with a nutraceutical company back in the late 80s, early 90s. And as we were graduating from pagers and fax machines into the early stages of the internet, and I could tell you that he was, reversing a lot of the stuff with the C's and diabetes and all the stuff, right? And you're not allowed to do that. He made billions of dollars. Matter of fact, I'll give you a hint. He sold his yacht to the King of Brunei in the 90s, and it's still the fastest yacht in the world.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, let's keep that hush hush. And the King of Brunei actually keeps it in pristine, like it's still 1994. You wouldn't know it's 2026, but it's an incredible yacht still in today's standards. And so I'm working with that guy who's got the okay from the original inventor, Robert, to actually make that technology even better. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to graduate from the Ford to the Ferrari. And that's going to happen probably here in quick succession in the next 6 months or so. And so I'll be working with that guy. And so who that guy is.
I do.
Yeah.
He can fund just about anything you need funded.
He's very, very wealthy. He's still worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Look, it's a long, long story. And maybe one day we'll tell the story. But the reason why I chose him is because when they froze all of his accounts, because you're not allowed to reverse this stuff that's messing with the medical mafia, right? So when they actually froze all of his accounts, he said, Mel, I had $3 million in a bank account in the Cayman Islands. He goes, but the problem is that the government's froze it. I couldn't get it out. He goes, how do you think I got it out? I said, I have no idea. He says, I wrote a check to the IRS for the full amount, right? Hoping that they would send me that check to the United States in my name, which is exactly what they did. I said, "Oh, that's the guy I need to work with. That's the guy. If you can steal your own money at the bank without using a gun, that's my partner."
That's excellent. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Well, it's not an accident universally that you and I are doing more together. There's a lot going on with a lot of synchronicities happening here. Okay. Because I'm actually working with a great funder who will fund these kind of things, and they have the deepest of deep pockets, and they're very much humanitarian people. And so working with you going forward on some of those projects is going to be a lot of fun. Also, one of the inventions that we're actually behind, that I'm actually working with, I'm flying out to Denver soon to work with, is unlimited energy, actually. So it's interesting that you have that going on in your show as well. It's going to be fantastic. And this guy's already producing quite a bit. And he's working with some massive players and has been accepted by the mainstream system, which is a little strange for me. But anyway, it's different, but I like it. But one of the projects that I'm really excited about going forward, talking about humanitarian stuff, is there's a thing called infinite water that we'll all be dealing with here soon. And my partners that I'm going to be working with on this are going to release that. It's coming out soon. And I want to say the end of this summer. We're going to actually change a lot of people's lives with that. And it's going to be a
Are you
brilliant.
talking about atmospheric water where we're pulling moisture out of the air into water?
The
Yeah.
man who pretty much, I shouldn't be talking about it because he's really the expert on it, but he basically invented it, and then everybody kind of stole it, and then he actually perfected it, and he's made it 10 times better than the other everybody that sold it from him, and then he's coming back strong, I will say, and they're going to make them all over the world, and they're
Yeah.
producing ridiculous amounts of water for virtually no electricity, and it's a brilliant piece of hardware, I will tell you. So anyway, that's to come
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
funny you say that. I got two friends of mine. One of that is actually in motion, and they're getting ready to get government contracts. These guys can actually build these machines the size of like a one of these container deals that are on cargo ships
Sure.
that produce 20, 30, 40, 50,000 gallons of water per day.
Yep.
Okay, we're
Yep.
talking next level, and they're talking actually to the Air Force and Marines for generating water for the Army.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the same people or
Could be.
close to people.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
And it's funny how this guy landed in my wellness center in Cape Canaveral. He went across the street to there's a little vegetarian restaurant there. And they start talking, and they start talking about my place, ironically, Staying Alive. And the lady there sent the guy there, and we start talking, and we start to find out what he's doing and what I'm doing, and we've been friends with Greg ever since. He's an amazing guy, very, very sharp guy.
Yeah.
I get to meet when you're in our line of business, you get to meet a lot of incredible, next level people for sure.
I would, what's funny. I was just telling a good friend of mine this the other day. When you start a YouTube channel, you just say to yourself, yeah, okay, I'm just going to talk in the camera. I'm going to talk about crypto and XRP and whatever. And then the next thing you know, you find yourself in the most amazing rooms with the most amazing people. And I think it's really got a lot to do with just being genuine and sincere about who you are and what you're doing. And people get attracted to that. And then like, hey, he told this story about this really neat thing. I know a neat thing. And then the other person, and the next thing you know, I meet, I don't know, characters like Mel Carmine. And then it's like, we have so much in common.
I just like products and things or services that really are disruptive in nature. I'm a disruptive kind of guy. And so if there's something, there's something that we could disrupt the cabal and I could get the piss and the cornflakes of the New World Order, I'm all for it. I love it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'll do it every day of the week. And so I love products that, can get rid of our energy bill. I love products that can get rid of our water bill. I mean, who the hell thought that we would be paying for water? I mean, think about that for a second.
It's crazy.
They figured they're figuring out now through carbon tax how to charge you for breathing.
I know. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. I mean, it's crazy.
This crazy state I'm living in right now, they're trying to pass a bill that you have to pay like 6 cents a mile just to drive your car in the road.
It's crazy.
It is. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. We're already paying tax on gas and everything else. And then they're like, oh, well, it's because all the electric cars don't pay gas tax. And it's like, well, then charge those guys. Like, what are you charging everybody for? Doesn't
this is one of the things that I love about this straw man thing. There's a lot of guys driving. I'm sure you've seen the videos on YouTube where they no longer have a registration on their car, because when you register your car, even if your car is paid off, who owns your car? The state.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
The state owns your car. People don't know that. So you have property taxes. If you don't pay your property taxes, who owns your house? The state. Okay.
That's right.
So they want to enslave us at the maximum level of enslavement that they could possibly enslave. And I'm saying enough is enough. You're saying enough is enough. A lot of us are saying enough is enough. And we're standing up. I'm at a point where I want to get rid of my tags. I want to get those bonded license plates. And I don't want to register my car. My car is paid off completely in full, right? When I paid it, I bought it in cash. Now, why should I be paying a registration to drive on a road that's been paid by sales tax and gasoline tax And I
doesn't
got to
make
pay
any
you
sense.
another tax. And if you want, you could take my car and say it's my car because you've signed on the dotted line saying it's their car.
Right. I got one even better than that, Mel. Let's just think about the fundamentals of this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So a guy who owns a Ferrari has to pay 10 times as much in registration as somebody who has a Honda Civic that's 20 years old. They're doing the same damage to the road, right? Like, why does that guy have to pay 10 times more? He's same use case, same road, same amount of miles.
It's a scam.
Doesn't make sense. A total
It's
scam.
a scam.
Yeah.
The whole thing, the whole United States government is the biggest scam in the world. And the people that
I don't
are
know.
bucking
There's
the
some bad
system,
scams out there.
listen, the people who are bucking the system, the people who are saying enough is enough, the people who are driving without a driver's license, without registration, and they're saying, I don't have to have a driver's license. I don't have to show you my ID. I'm driving for personal reasons, not for commerce. I don't have to have a. I love it.
Did the horse have a license plate on it?
No.
Did the horse and buggy have a license plate? Of course not. You just went wherever you wanted to go. Yeah.
But look, that's the reason why they're not going to release the 6,000 patents that they have in Wright-Patterson. You don't think out of 6,000 patents, they have at least 24, celestial chambers, age reversal technology, technology that could restore your DNA back to better than original, where you get to live to be 1,717 years old. Okay. They have all of it. They have all of it. They don't want you and I to have it because, and why are we still driving an extension of a Model T Ford? You're on 4 rubber tires.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. I drive a Lamborghini. I drive a Ford. It doesn't matter whether you drive a Ferrari, a Ford, a Lamborghini, or a Bugatti. You're still on 4 rubber tires. You're scraping the earth like a turkey, like the rest of us. You ain't going anywhere. You're not allowed to travel up there to find out if there's a firmament or if there's a space. You're not allowed to know whether the earth is flat. You're not allowed to go on the other side of the ice wall. You're a slave.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Right? I want the Lamborghini that can fly at Mach 17, that can go from Miami to Manila in 17 and a half minutes.
Well, I agree. And the neat thing too that's going on is because of shows like yours and mine and many others, we are starting to learn that about the straw man. We are like, I've been studying that stuff for 30 years. So for me, it's like, I know it's all a scam, but I kind of got to the point where it started to drive me so crazy. It made me really negative. And then I thought, I'm not going to let those fools ruin my life. I'm going to go ahead and just do whatever Allan feels like doing in his life and to the best I can. And speaking of taxes, that the speaker that was at my show, Kirk Carmichael, with the UNAs, we are absolutely changing people's lives. We are.
Oh, yeah. I'm in touch with Kirk, by the way.
No, we're talking about no federal income tax and no state income tax if your state has income tax.
Right.
Like gone. And when people finally get it and they've done it and they've got their UNA and they've done the whole process and they're just like, oh my God, Allan, I was scared and I was nervous to do this because you've been told your whole life death and taxes, right?
Sure.
But when they go through it and they get their certificate back that says, hey, you're free and clear, or whatever the wording is on it, they're blown away. Like they don't believe how easy it is, how simple it is. And
you have to be able to speak a different language. You have to speak legalese language. If you go into court and you don't know what you're doing, you could really get clobbered. That's why I've said years ago, it's important for, let's say, for example, Allan likes the legalese language and studies common law, understands it, is very proficient at it, and understands exactly how to go into a courtroom. He could defend me. I could hire him instead of hiring an actual attorney. I want to hire a common law lawyer. Okay. I want to bring him into court because he's going to defend me in a different way where it brings the Constitution back into play.
Yes.
Right.
That's right.
And so I don't think everybody could learn to be a common law attorney. That's impossible. Okay,
No.
some of us are not going to do it, no matter what, no matter how much you're going to push it down people's throats. But some people, so I don't have a problem hiring somebody that has learned it and say, you're going to represent me in court. I have this case. Can you take it? Yes. Boom. Done. You don't have to have a diploma for me to hire you.
No, but here's the thing, right now, and I know you know this, but I'll just refresh your memory.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not attached to a social security number, they have no way to bring you to court. Like you don't exist anymore. Think about this now. Like your name is Bob Smith. Now, how do they know which Bob Smith you are? Oh, exactly. The guy with the beard. No, the other guy with the beard. What? How do they know who Bob Smith is? They only know it because of those 9 digits. And and once those 9 digits aren't associated to who you are with the UNA and other things, like even if somebody wanted to sue you or charge you with a crime or bring you in front of a magistrate that has no jurisdiction over you, they wouldn't know where to find you.
Exactly.
That's beautiful about this whole thing.
Exactly. Let me play the trailer, if you don't mind, real quick. And this way we could show the people that, yeah, we have some very talented people that work with Mel Carmine, and we could absolutely put together a award-winning documentary. And here we go. Let me know if you could see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Hang on one second.
Oh, you have to bring it up.
I got to bring it up. Okay, it's blank right now, but yeah, it's up there.
Is it a black screen? It is, right? Okay, perfect. I'm about to tell you a story that is going to absolutely piss off a lot of people in the United States of America. What if everything you've ever known is a lie? Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that we've been bamboozled in ways that you can't even imagine. From the creator who dared to question everything in Dear Mr. President comes a revelation so explosive it will shatter your perception of reality. This is the biggest scam ever, and your government, it thinks that you are stupid.
And the whole fake system that is set up, it's all fake.
The straw man, the greatest heist in history. Before your first breath, a covert system claimed you a ghostly double made of paper, a financial slave in a world you can't even see.
The straw man. I am not that fucking straw man. That's not me. I am not all cap letters. I am me.
They've used your name as currency, trading your life in a game rigged from the start. Basically, when you're born, they put some little ink underneath your feet, and they give you the all caps name on your social security or social slave number, okay? And that's exactly what you are. That is your bond number. Every document, every signature, every debt is an elaborate illusion. You go get a marriage license, it's a bond. You get divorced, it's a bond. You get a driver's license, it's a bond. You get a fishing license, it's a bond. You get a hunting license, it's a bond. You get a ticket, that ticket gets traded. Driver's license, insurance, all of this nonsense. These are all bonds that are being traded in your name, and they're making billions and trillions of dollars. Once you know the truth, you hold the power to choose. The system will fight back. It will try to silence you, erase you. The choice is yours. It's going to shake every foundation, Allan, of every government around the world, because I hate to say it's only happening here in the United States. No, we created it. Other governments have actually copied the system. Australia, New Zealand, Spain, Italy, France, Germany, etc. And they all running on the same system. So it's not just people in the United States of America that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and some of you even billions of dollars, but even people in other countries, and because they don't understand how the game is played. People, we've been bamboozled with language from day one when we come into the system. Okay?
Amen.
Right? And if people would just stop and start doing your homework, let me tell you something. This movie can stir up a situation for the governments around the world that is going to be a little bit difficult for them to handle. That's for sure.
I would completely agree. And I just the the struggle I have is you can lead horses to water and you can't make them drink. So the truth, if people will listen to it, is powerful.
Well,
Really
this is
powerful.
true. Yeah, this is true, Alan.
I know
However,
it's true.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been studying this stuff for years.
yeah, but the reality is this: what if a crazy guy like me, and I'm crazy, I'm as crazy as they come, put it together in such an elementary way that we went out and literally scoured the internet for months and months and months to try and find the most simplistic videos and glue those videos together in a sequential order where we tell a story that I don't care if you got 87 IQ, you will understand this documentary. What if what I just told you is real and everybody in America is able to understand? Because I know, look, they've dumbed everybody down, including myself, okay? With the fluoride, the chemtrails, the whatever, the clothes you wear, the food you eat, everything is to make you stupid.
The medical system. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. What if I'm telling you the truth that this movie is so elementary in nature that if it gets out there and people really spread it out there, the vast majority of us are going to get it, and we're going to start digging and digging and digging, and then we're going to start to demand answers.
It's already happening. I mean, it's happening. People are waking up. 2020 was big. That was a big year for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How many people do you think out there know that they're worth $200 million, for example, hypothetically speaking?
Few.
1,000th of 1%.
Yeah. Less than 1%.
1,000th of 1%, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So this needs to get out there, and it will get out there. But again, we are at the mercy of the people, right? The movie's highly entertaining, but the facts are that if we're listen, if you're worth $200 million, wouldn't you want to know?
Yeah, well, of course. Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to know? I know. I sure as hell would.
Yeah. No, all those crimes, every crime you ever commit, or life in prison's worth way more than everything else. It's like,
look at us with XRP right now and this new financial system. Look at the level of that they're literally going all out, right? They're moving mountains, heaven and earth, and they're going to fight us to the last drop of blood to make sure that you and I don't get our money when we think we're going to get our money.
No, that's right. Yeah. And who they are. Come on.
Is that your dog?
Yeah, the two of them.
Probably wants to be a podcaster.
He does. He's usually in on every show, but the two of them aren't playing well right now. So anyway, I don't need a dog fight in the middle of the show.
I mean, everybody's like, we thought we should have had this thing in the bag with XRP and this quantum financial system years ago.
Yeah.
And technically speaking, we're probably right. We should have had it years ago. But there are forces like Jamie Dimon and BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street and BNY Mellon and whoever else you want to throw into that mix that will move whatever heaven and earth to make sure that you and I don't get wealthy.
Yeah. Do you know, somebody sent me something the other day. Do you know who John Singleton is?
I've heard of the name. Yeah.
Okay. He's kind of been a straw man advocate all these years and all this stuff. And then evidently he did a show like a week ago saying that UNAs are all a scam and don't believe it. And all of this is, and I thought, I used to listen to that guy 10 years ago, right? And I said to myself, what do you know about it? Like, has he been captured? Is he part of the PSYOP now? It was very discerning.
Did he say I was a scam?
No, not at all. He was saying that they are a scam. In other words, if you do a UNA, right? That Kurt is promoting these days. He's not just promoting, he's making it happen for people's lives. And it's very frustrating to hear somebody who's been on the Sorry about getting up and down all day.
No,
here.
no, let the dogs in. Don't worry about it. It'll
Yeah.
make for a good live television.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, that's my channel, right? I sit out on the rocks usually and with my dogs, but it's very frustrating to hear somebody that's been on our team and our side for so long in so many categories, and then him to come out and make a video like that. I was just like, who do you think you are? Like, you don't know anything about what you're talking about. And he's talking right out his tailpipe and convincing tens of thousands of people that the whole thing's a scam. And I thought, you know what, man? Like, if you don't know what you're talking about and you're convincing people, you've either A, been captured or you're lying. One or the other.
Well, they're captured operations. They are, look,
I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying because I don't know the man.
Listen, for these people, if they could get you to flip, Allan, for example, and tell a different story than the one you've been telling for the last 5 years, all right? And they're willing to pay you $500,000 a year. Let's say Allan Staple Crew is for sale, which I don't believe you are. And I know that Mel Carmine is absolutely not for sale at any price, right? If they could figure out a way to get you to flip, and you're maybe living in your mom's basement, and they're paying you $500,000 a year. And by the way, we're connected to the IRS. We are the IRS. You don't have to pay us any taxes. You get to keep the whole $500,000. It's money out of thin air for them anyway. It's digits that they're drawing out of thin air, and they're giving it to you, right? It doesn't mean anything, right? So, and they get you to flip. There's so many of these people. There was a guy that I watched just 3 days ago. Very polished. He went to college. He knows those 18 fancy words that the rest of us don't know. And he tries to impress us by repeating them over and over again to try and remind himself that he went to college and we didn't, right? But anyway, needless to say, he was talking about David Straight, which I interviewed David Straight when I had 6,200 people on my channel, and that video got 229,000 views that weekend. And now that I got like 53,000 people on one channel and 33,000 on another channel and all these Telegram channels, I can't get past, 4,000, 5,000 views.
I know.
Because they throttled you back, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
they clearly do.
And this guy was talking about David Straight and the postman, I forget the guy's name, something Miller. Maybe your audience could write down the name. He for the Postmaster General. He worked with that other guy also that I actually that I also interviewed, and I can't think of his name either. But anyway, maybe it'll come to me. But needless to say, these guys have mastered a way to get around the system. And this guy who went to college, who's there to bamboozle average, ordinary people, right, to try them to think differently. These guys are paid oppositions. There's no question in my mind. None.
Yeah.
Zero. This is a young kid that's maybe 28, 29 years old. Speaks very eloquently, very polished.
Yeah.
Very, very CNN like.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just saw it. I don't know, John. I don't know any of these people. I'm not trying to throw anybody under any buses, but I'm just saying that, like, why it just really rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. I personally have seen it work, and it personally is working for people's lives. So I don't know. Have you tried the product? I mean, that's kind of what I was really getting into about it. The other thing that I find really interesting is, what's this guy? Who's the number one YouTuber?
Beast, Mr. Beast.
Okay. Now, personally, I don't know anybody that watches his channel. But yet the guy gets 100 million views.
Well, he gets 100 million views as soon as he releases the video. I mean, look, first of all,
what I'm saying.
Okay, first of all, he's juiced in. Okay, his mother and father are very high-level ranking military, Navy, Air Force, etc. Number one. Number two, his name is Mr. Beast.
Yeah, right.
Okay. He's part of the Beast system.
There you have it. That's where I was going. Yeah.
Okay.
And I find it very frustrating because I actually know a very, very high-ranking Google employee. I'm going to say in the top 5 in the company. And she and I have had that discussion. And I asked her one day, I said, what is up with all that? And she goes, I can't even talk about that on the phone, Allan. And I said, because that's ridiculous. Like, nobody watches that. He's not getting those views. That's impossible.
I mean, he locks people up in a room and they got to live together for a week to get like to $5 million. I mean, like the most ridiculous. This is like so mainstream because they've lost their imagination. They have no imagination. That's why network television is crashing and burning. I mean, the Great American Race and Survivor Island. I mean, it was cute when they first started. But, you know, they can't come up with anything new. They can't come up with anything that's exciting. They can't come up with anything that stimulates your mind, right?
No. Everybody on my channel knows I threw my television away 20 years ago. I haven't watched television in 40 years. Yeah. I mean, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand.
Yeah. I watch YouTube channels. I watch Allan. I watch Digital Asset Investor. I watch the Hulk. I watch these guys, right?
Yeah, that's right. I ended up actually having a great time with the Hulk. I didn't think I was going to like him at all, and actually, I really did. I enjoyed his company.
You know, he's a really charming guy. He
really
comes off as I don't know what you call it. He's like my wife calls people like him. What does he call candy with a surprise on the inside? Hard candy with a surprise on the inside.
Okay, you know? I like that. Yeah.
But he's a really charming guy. I actually did an interview with him 5.5, 6 years ago when I started this crazy mess. And even in today's standards, that interview is a great interview.
Yeah.
You know? So
I still get people coming to my channel that saw the interview that you and I did out in Florida. And like people are like, I didn't even know what your channel was. And then I saw you on Mel's show and it's like, man, you guys are just sitting in chairs and just chilling and having a great conversation. Why don't you guys do that again? I said, we might make that happen when we're out in Florida the end of the month.
So you're coming down for a week. You're going to be you're going to stay for a little longer. When are you planning on coming down?
Yeah, I'm coming. I think I'm going to be in town like a day or two before the show and then like a day or two after the show. But I can't remember the exact dates. I booked it all last night or the night before.
Yeah, I had a lady come in yesterday, and she's a very nice lady, and she's got a little bit of a problem with the bottle, right?
Okay.
But she came in and the system 3 nights, three overnights in a row, and she says, Mel, when I'm here and I sleep overnight, I don't feel like I need to go. She likes to drink herself to bed, if you know what I mean, right?
Sure.
And she's like, all of a sudden, she doesn't feel the urge to drink anymore. She's one of these people that's like run out of money, but she's got a nice silver collection. So she said, you don't mind if I pay you in silver? I said, not at all, man. This is God's money. You know what I mean?
Right,
I love silver, right? So she paid me in silver. She's gonna be staying there for a few months. Very, very nice lady. You'll get to meet her. She's gonna be actually coming for the Quantum Summit, and she's good friends with Jerry. As a matter of fact, Jerry sent her. She's like, Mel, I want to live. I said, well, listen, if you want to spend your silver, right? I said, if you want to spend your silver, because if you pass on, as you can't take that with you. She goes, oh, no, I get that. So I said, stay in here for a couple months. What do you got to lose?
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Change your whole life.
Yeah. And so she's convinced that this absolutely is working for her, and that she could turn her life around. And she's got a couple of things going on upstairs as well. That I'm not going to mention here, but look, we've turned people around from stage 4. Literally, people that were there, they go to their doctors and they say, listen, you got to get your affairs in order. You're not going to make it another 2 weeks. Yeah. And they come in and they stay in the system for 2 months, 3 months, and they're completely in remission.
I love it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so when that becomes mainstream, I'm sure I'm going to need a place that can accommodate 500, 600, 700 people, at a time, which would be a great problem for me to have. I'll knock my prices down even lower. I'll go down to 90. I'll go down to $7 an hour. You know what I mean? If I have to.
Sure.
I want to make it affordable to the masses.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
it's one of those things that when you learn how to make money with money, you really don't need to charge money for their health. Like it's like I don't need to get rich off somebody else's health, you know. So
I don't need to get rich off of somebody's misery either.
no,
Which
that's right.
Doctors do that all the time. You know, they do that thing that starts with a K and ends with an O, right? When you have that stage 4, stage 3, whatever. Okay. That you know, years ago you were able to go to Google and punch in that thing that word that starts with a K and ends with an O, and the audience knows what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
All right. And it's got the word therapy at the end, right? KO therapy, right? And it used to clearly say 10, 12 years ago on Google that was that cockroach spray in a syringe.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what it was. That's what it still is, with a couple added extra ingredients, right? And 95% of the people that do that therapy don't last.
No, they don't last.
Right.
But the
bodies are like a battery. We need to be charged. Our cellular being, we run on electricity. And
yes.
When that secret gets out, anybody who's got a frequency wellness center with real technology that truly is real technology that aids the body in healing itself, it's going to be Katie by the door.
It is. And also there's a lot to be said for placebo effect, if you will, because if you believe that you're going to be healed by even that word, you're going to be. I mean, you could be. I'm not saying that it doesn't work for a lot of people, because it does, but you have to believe in the doctor and you have to believe in the system. And once you all in on that and you think it's going to work for you, it probably will work for you, despite.
Right. Yeah. But you know, we've had some instances, and I'll tell you off camera, of people who were very wealthy and they own, you know, several homes that were paid for. And they thought, even though I'm 80% cheaper, that I should be even cheaper than that. And they have rich father-in-laws that have passed on because, you know, going to Hawaii, for example, on a vacation to say goodbye to all their friends, because that's what the doctors talked them into, was more important.
Yeah.
You know, and they come in and they come into my center with a freaking can of, you know, soda pop, and they're eating Doritos.
Hey, I like Doritos.
You know,
I don't eat them very often, but I do like them.
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny you say that. You know, not to get off subject, but you know, when we went to war with Iraq and we captured Saddam Hussein,
okay,
he got addicted to Doritos.
Really?
I swear to God. And the soldiers are giving him bags of this stuff, laughing their ass off before they actually hung him.
Yeah, before they hung him. Yeah. Anyway,
so what do you think is going to go on with this XRP? I mean, how much longer do you think we're going to wait? God knows. I blurted something out at a table the other night, and everyone dropped their jaw, hit the table, and I said, they said, well, what do you think, Allan? I said, well, I think it's going to go sideways for about 6 more months. And everyone freaked out. Oh, you can't say that. And I'm like, I don't watch. It's not in a good place right now. It's like the public has given up on it, and people are in a place to where only you and I that know the future of money are invested in the thing. Look,
and unfortunately, that's right where they want it. You know that, right? They want it. They want it so that everybody in the world can't get rich. We know that. Right. And they want the poor to stay poor, but the poor is really good at staying poor. I'm just going to say that. They're really good at it.
Yeah. It's so true. But you know, I can tell you one thing. It has nothing to do with me and you being greedy because we want to be billionaires. It has to do with one thing and one thing only. I'm not here because of Brad Garlinghouse or Satoshi Nakamoto. I couldn't give two shits.
Yeah.
I mean, I like those people. I met Satoshi Nakamoto, aka David Schwartz, in Vegas. That video got passed around like a joint at a Grateful Dead concert. It got passed around 100 million times.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I cornered him, and that conversation ended with, "Yeah, you're right. I may very well be one of the main Satoshis." That's how that conversation ended, verbatim. So I'm not here for, all the hoopla and all the bullshit. I'm here to make money, period. I couldn't give a shit. If Bitcoin was the one that could do what XRP could do, I'd be all on board with Bitcoin.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But XRP was invented because Bitcoin failed. They had to create the new improved Bitcoin, which is XRP, that can move money, because Bitcoin was invented with the intent to move money, but it didn't do that because it's heavy on usage. It's heavy on energy. It costs too much money. People don't want to move it so they had to reinvent the store of value. Now, I understand you're into Bitcoin. I get that. And I'm not poo-pooing it. It's better than, I would rather own Bitcoin than own fiat currency. I'll tell you that right now. Right. But the reality is we're here to make money. When they have to move all of the money on earth, because that's what this has to do. This has to do with moving all of the commerce. When that commerce says we got to move $100 quadrillion per year, and if you don't think with artificial intelligence and the robots and basic income and government to government moving billions and trillions and quadrillions of dollars and corporation to corporation and the remittances and everything that moves on planet Earth, we're about to graduate from 5.5 quadrillion a year to 100 quadrillion easily. So you take those numbers, which are staggering, and you free up $57 trillion in the Nostro Vostro accounts. Let's sit down and let's really put the pen to the paper and see what XRP is going to be worth. We're not there yet. You will know when you wake up in the morning and XRP is at $100 or $200. You will know that we're here. And now it's going to go much quicker from $100 to $1,000 than from $0 to $100. Okay, let me say that again. It's going to go a lot faster than it went from 0 to 100. When it goes to 100 to get to 1,000, it's going to be 10 times, 20 times faster, 30 times faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
not because we want to get rich. It's because they have to move all of the money. Who are they? BlackRock, Vanguard, the banks, whatever banks survive, probably Wells Fargo, Citibank, Chase, etc. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really what it comes down to. When they say it's go time and they're able to buy the XRP at a very, very low rate and open up their ETF storefronts and sell ETFs to the whole world, and they got to wake up one day and it's no longer a dress rehearsal and it's go time for real and not bullshit. No more smoke and mirrors. We're done at that point. Then we will have a not a junior quantum summit, but a mega quantum summit. Okay. And it's not going to be, it's going to be champagne and caviar, and it's not going to be inexpensive. But at that point, nobody gives a shit because, 2 XRPs will take care of that problem.
Yes. And it of course. Yeah. And that day's coming and we know it will happen. I don't know. I don't know when. I got tired of guessing, honestly. There's no way to know. It's going to come out of necessity, obviously. That's going to be its big moment. That'll be its big move.
Yeah. When they need it, and it's no longer your thing or my thing, that's when it happens. Not because you and I could be wish it until we're blue in the face. It don't mean a thing. When they're ready, you'll know. And listen, Donald Trump, who is the most powerful man alive today, okay, with the most powerful military in the world, doesn't know.
Yeah.
And he's not in control of this situation right now. I tell you right now, because if he was and his kids were in control, you could rest assured that Bitcoin would be $500,000, XRP would be a couple $100, and so on.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. He really got into the banks the other day, and I don't know if you heard
I saw that, and he's basically telling them, no, you guys are making enough profits. We're going forward. Let's see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, that's all you can do. You can't wait. Look, mental masturbation is not something I'm good at.
No, it's boring.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So
patience is difficult, but
absolutely.
Also the other thing, the other one I mentioned last night on a show was, did you see what happened to Jesse at Kraken. They gave him his backdoor entrance to the global banking system. Kraken now is a global bank.
I heard something about that.
I love that. I met that guy 9 years ago at a convention. He and I sat at a bar until 3 a.m. just talking, just he and I. And I absolutely love that guy. He is a true humanitarian. I don't know who he is today, but that's who he was at the time. But yeah, you never know what happens to people. But that's a beautiful thing. That's a good start. Anyway.
Absolutely. So anyway, one last time, Quantum Summit 1776.com. If you want to see Allan on stage, I know a lot of you guys are definitely going to want to see Allan on stage because he's a wealth of knowledge. When I saw him walking around in the backyard in the woods years ago, and I was still living in Costa Rica, I said, who is this new guy? You guys couldn't come out of the woodwork fast enough to start a channel. I was like starving for more information. And then you came out.
Well, it's funny because I'd had a channel the year before that. Nobody saw any of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm only one of many guests or speakers. Tell everybody some of the people that are going to be at the show.
Yeah, sure. As a matter of fact, why don't we pull up the page?
Okay. We can do that.
Quantum Summit. Can you do it on your side?
Can you put it up? Pull it, and I can pull it up and put it on the screen.
Yeah, we can do that.
There's some amazing guest speakers.
Yeah, it truly is. Okay, let me see here.
I was really amazed at the turnout I had at my show, but especially since I know like 50 people. I would say 50 people couldn't make it because of the ice storm.
Yeah. So there you are. This is the actual website where it tells you everything you need to know, and then we're adding more stuff to it as we go. We got Jerry Reed, who's got the Free Energy Technology, Senator Fincham, Dr. Jan Halper Hayes, Jim Gale, who's foodforestabundance.com, Larry Jim Ballard. Yeah. Larry Ballard, who I launched, about a couple of years ago, and now he's becoming a big deal. He'll be flying back from Vegas with me to go to the event, actually. So we have Tom Althouse, who's the guy who actually created the movie. He's a screenplay writer for the movie The Matrix, and then they stole it and they gave it to the Chiatsky brothers. As a matter of fact, I did a podcast with him earlier today, which is going to be epic. We got Sheriff Mack, Mike Barra, who's been on Ancient Aliens, Dimitri, who was at your thing, will be there. We got the Digital Asset Sisters. We're not sure. Yeah, we're not sure yet if Rasan is coming. It's sort of like up in the air. We know that Nolan is definitely coming. I was on Crypto and Coffee this morning. What a great guy! I love this guy. Really, truly, what a gem.
Who, Stone?
Yeah, Stone.
Oh, great!
And you got James Lovett and Harris, and I think that would be a great panel for you to be on with, talking about the new financial system, because I think you guys are a wealth of knowledge, and we got many. Yeah, we could definitely ask you some tough questions that I think you guys can handle pretty easily. These are just pictures of our last one. You got to love the mural, right? You see the mural? We're making a miniature version of this. Okay.
Love it.
This was our first one. We had a nice turnout. We had about 350 people total.
You invited me to that one, and I couldn't make it that year.
Yeah.
That was the first year we met. Yeah.
This one here with the number 29 on the table, this one was at the Radisson right up the road from us. We had a nice crowd for that one. Senator Fincherman came out, and Leo Biasucci from Arizona came out, was a House representative in Arizona.
Didn't Molly narrate that one, or Was she an
Molly
MC?
didn't. Yeah, Molly came to the first one. I
Okay,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. Now and the second one we had Chip and Jeff from On the Chain.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love those guys.
Yeah, they're as a matter of fact, that's them right there. If you could see them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we had an incredible crowd. Yeah. And we
Yeah.
had the XRP 007. He might be coming. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, I hope Rob makes it. I
Yeah.
always enjoy his company.
Yeah. Rob is very cool. You want to
Yeah.
exit the window?
Sure.
Okay, there you go.
That
Yeah,
was
so no, it's a work of art. Amber puts all the websites together. Amber wears 17 hats for me. If I could only clone her 17 times, life would be a lot easier.
right. Yeah.
Right?
Well, Elizabeth's the same way for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know where I'd be without Elizabeth in my life, and
Yeah.
I'm so blessed to have her. So,
Yeah. Well, behind every great man, there's an incredible woman.
amen to that, brother. And
Yeah.
that's the truth right there in my case, for sure.
Yeah. And you and I would probably be nowhere without them, because it takes somebody that's on your same wavelength to be able to understand your mission and be able to carry out your mission and help you build the right team that sees the mission, understands the mission, and is willing to go to the finish line. It's not as easy and cut and dry as one would think.
That's right. No, it's not. And all of us have a story to tell,
Mhm.
and many of us think that we don't, but almost all of us do. But
Yeah.
when you have a woman or a partner, I'll say, in case you're a female YouTuber or whatever, presenting and having somebody behind you that actually says, "Hey, you know what? I believe in you, and I got your back." And
Right.
they're a rock for us, for all those people. Because in particular, the first year that I did crypto, some of the comments that I would get I would take them personally, and it would.
Oh my God! Oh, sometimes I rip into them. Sometimes I go in. Sometimes I chop them up, and then a lot of the other fans that have their head screwed on straight. He goes, "You tell him, Mel."
Yeah.
Let me show you my screen one more time. This you understand. You understand how powerful what we have it really is, and your audience, because this technology needs to get out. It has to get out, and it will get out.
Oh yeah, no, it will for sure.
Here we go. Okay, share. Right, share that if you don't mind, and then I'll go ahead. Here's my dog. Recently, my dog had recently my dog had a stroke, and nobody could really even diagnose him. We actually went to a medium who's got 44 years underneath her belt, out of California, and she's the only one that diagnosed him properly, a dog medium, and the dog bounced back like you can't believe. If I find that video, I'll show that as well. But in the meantime, let me show you my mom. That's my mom's first day. They filmed her as she landed. This was a place in Utah, and you could tell that she's trying to grab onto stuff that doesn't even exist to hold the balance, right?
Yeah.
A copious amount of drugs, right?
Wow.
And yeah, this is exit out of this, okay. And this is my mom 5 days later.
Now this morning, I'm walking through the center.
Wow.
5 days later, 24 hours a day in the system. Because see, just because someone invents a technology, that doesn't necessarily mean they understand their own technology. I said this technology absolutely positively works, except this has got to be long term. And sure enough, I was right. I hate being right, Allan.
Yeah, I know. It's a terrible thing to happen to a YouTuber.
And then this is my mom.
Sorry.
Okay, this is my mom 5 weeks later. Now we're talking about let me play that from the beginning.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We're talking about a person that had epilepsy, the C word, emphysema, diabetes, fibromyalgia, neuropathy, high blood pressure. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
20 pills a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was the first day when she landed. She was like, 18 drugs, all side effects. 5 weeks later, 6 weeks later, nothing, no more, zero.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
slept in the system for 2 months,
Yeah.
24 hours a day.
For 2 months.
2 months.
Good for her.
And you know who was the doctor that gave her that prescription?
You.
Mel Carmine.
Yeah. So did you, when you were, does she come back for tune-ups, or is it just kind of she's good to go now?
Not really. Now she's in assisted living in California, in Glendale. And
Okay.
what we're doing with her now is we're every couple of weeks we send a mobile van and we get her injected with IV therapy, vitamin therapy like vitamin B12, vitamin B6,
Sure.
Myers cocktails, NADs, vitamin D, and there's something else, glutathione.
Glutathione.
Yeah, and she's amazing. She refuses to die. she's 85 years old now, man.
She's 85.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, you can exit if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
I've got-
eventually, when we have, the resources, we're going to bring her here, and she'll probably have her own system. Because earlier you said, is there a chance that eventually everybody's going to have the system in their home? And the answer is yes. This is going to be like air conditioning. Everybody's going to have it.
Yeah. Love it. Yeah, I love that. The energy is real, and all you have to do is understand it and believe it a little bit, and then you can expand your health and your life.
Do you know what sound? You know what sound therapy is? Sound bowls.
Sure.
Okay. I've had people that have gone to sound bowl experiences outside of our system. Everything that gets done inside our system gets amplified by a factor of 10.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
So, there's people that have gone to sound bowl experiences outside of our system, and then we have sound bowl experiences in our system directly inside the scalar wave technology. And they said when we're in here, it's next level. We can't even explain how many levels up it is from what it is when we're not doing it here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great to hear that.
Yeah.
I have some very interesting things you and I can share in private. I'd rather not be public with, but at this point, people that know me well know of many of the healing things that I've been involved in. So I'm not trying to hide them or anything like that. It's just on a personal level. There's thousands of people that see these videos, and I just, you know how it is. It's kind of more of a personal thing with me.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
But I do a lot of energy work with a lot of different people and have for many years. So it's all, for me, it's all just fantastic to be aware.
Yeah.
If you can get somebody who can just open their mind and be aware and learn,
totally,
you're there. You've got it.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, my brother, I'm going to get out of here, and I know it's late where you were at.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah. Oh, me too, Mel. We work well together, and we always have. And we should do more of these. I don't know why we don't.
Whenever you want, just get in touch with Amber and say, hey, is Mel available? And
sure,
next Wednesday, next Tuesday, whatever, and let's make it happen.
Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely.
And I'm so glad you reached out to me last week. And I was like, man, perfect timing. I'd love to get you.
And I know a lot of people are waiting to come meet you in Cape Canaveral. Cape Canaveral is a fun place, by the way. If they want, right down the street, 4 blocks away, they got their toes in the sand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the song goes.
Is it? I've been to Cape Canaveral. Actually, I was on a yacht, and we were in the bay and watched a launch one time. Space shuttle. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really exciting.
Yeah.
All right, Mel. Those of you who make the show, please do. I'd love to meet you all and see you guys. And if you couldn't make my Fort Lauderdale show, it'd be a great time to catch up with all of you. So you can get the tickets. Where was that site one more time?
Quantum Summit. Yeah, Quantum Summit 1776.com.
Love it. All right, Mel. thank you very much. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here.
Thank you, brother. Pleasure.
All right.